Do you want to understand existence? Martin Heidegger mixed with Christ. Martin Heidegger was the single most important German philosopher. He was born 1926, 1889. His birthplace was Germany. His philosophy on life was extraordinary to me. He understood the study of the subconscious mind. This is an enlightenment. I understand what our mere existence is in this world after great studies. The phenomenology is the study of structures of the consciousness as we experience in the first person perspective. What we see, what we touch, what we feel, what we smell, what we hear. This philosophy aligns you with only focusing on what you feel instead of asking what it is. If we take a look into the phenomena of this all, we're going to have to dive deeper into the extraterrestrial experience. If you're scared of death or you fear anything on this planet, this video is not for you. The extraterrestrial philosophy is a philosophy that emphasizes individual existence from freedom and choice. Individuals' existence and freedom and choice. Humans, we have to define our meaning. We have to define what is the phenomena of all of this, because single most handily, I've experienced trauma, we've experienced torture. This hasn't been an enlightening experience. So we have to ask ourselves, what is the core purpose of being in time? What is the purpose of experiencing? We're needing to narrow down existence. This is the point that Heidegger wanted to get us to. Understanding your existence, not only in the extraterrestrial sense, where you're empathizing with yourself and how you feel in your emotions, and you're keeping track of how certain situations make you feel, and how sometimes your mind is interfering with maybe what could be good things to others, but such torment to you. This enlightenment experience comes with you narrow down experience, and everything was to die. What would be distinguished between you and that time? You're dead. What can enable us to know that you were a contributing factor in the world? What would be distinguished? What would be missing? What is the gap there? So when you start to narrow down your experience between death and living, you'll reach these four pillars that I like to give you. The first pillar is called Adam. The second pillar, we have body. Third pillar, we have thought. This pillar, I'm going to give to you in just a moment. Adam is the physical. So we live on three realms. We have the subconscious, we have the conscious, and we have the superconscious. In my past videos, I explained those concepts. The body is the concept. This what holds emotions. This what goes through the emotions. This is daily. This is what you experience daily. Emotions daily. This is the interaction of the physical. Thought is the space and time. This is the linger. Everyone knows that we experiencing, sometimes our days linger. We have a linger experience. So could it be that to understand our core existence and being in time, does that mean that we need to be in time, which will put us on a plane of being present now? But if we take a look at this, our subconscious mind, what does your subconscious mind reflect? Does it reflect death, disaster, sickness, and poverty? What are your beliefs? What are your emotions? I'm going to give you time to understand and think to yourself what your answers may be. Because I understand that a scarcity mindset traps you and increases your risk in heart attack and death and poverty. Because it increases stress, it increases poor decision making skills, it increases frequency of inadequacy of thyself, hoarding behaviors, overworking, wrong. You just have the wrong focus points at all times. But your life wasn't, you didn't make all the choices you have to deal with. And we have encounters in this experience that sometimes doesn't give us the equal and fairness. We live in an unfair world, but it's worlds we have to play in where we have to think fair. We have to be fair. So that we were taught, because you got to understand, in the Western religion, in the Western hemisphere, they are taught to do what I say, and you do what you're told, and you reap good results when you're a good boy. But in this sense, we believe that we have to identify ourselves in death and living. We wanting more out of what we're seeing in the mere existence. But no one speaks about the changing of the subconscious mind that is necessary. So you grow close with those of the dead. You grow close to those the philosophers of past times, because there's 3 departments to life when you're wanting to change thyself. As I spoken, we have the subconscious, we have the conscience. This is human life. This is human experience. The superconscious is what you haven't been taught that you have inside of you. Please, for more of this, because I'm going to run through this briefly, go look at my other videos. This is the God mind that is in you. See, you're more than what you are. You're more than what you see, but your carnal mind is distracted with the world. Because this mind craves comfort in all territories, comfort in sin consciously, because of what we look at and lack that we don't have, we make up for in sin. So when you step away from this mind and understand that this experience of the carnal mind is a sinful experience, and that we don't need to become distracted, or you don't get nothing out of this life, or you're needing more of this life, because remember, we look at life from death to life. That's how we look. So we're needing to create, we're needing to produce, we're needing to populate, we're needing to multiply. Why? It says it in God's word. Go take a look into Genesis. Thou should have dominion, thou should take over the world, subdue it. Subdue it how, God? I'm here to explain. Subconsciously, the experiences that we have had is programmed in our minds. That's what our minds know. That's what we have been open to. That's our experience. You have to change your experience. But to change your experience is to totally change who you are. So that means you have to unlearn those habits in which you have exhibited and once you have been stored upon. To the listener, you got to understand that to reprogram your subconscious mind, it only comes through beliefs, habits, and manifestation. Through that, you can get to your super consciousness. We're gonna call it super C. This is the God mind. This is habits. This is habits where Christ is. See, if you understood the truth about Christ and his real name wasn't Jesus. Wasn't that his name is Jesus, but when it's traced back and it's really studied on that his and it's really drawn back and it's studied that his name started as Yahshua, Yahweh, Messiah being the anointed one. Yahweh being salvation. Yahshua Yahshua. This man had a Hebrew name. He didn't have a Greek name. Which means spiritual and physical So once you do your research, once you do your studies, and you understand that your heritage is directly linked to how your present condition has formed you to be or who you are at this time is only because of past history events. And you're suffering not only with the choices you have made, but with the choices your ancestors have made. So when you totally are ready to reconstruct that mind through hear, touch, feel, taste, smell, experience, then you'll get to your super conscious. Understand that we live on three reality planes and that heaven is not just a destination. Heaven is also a frequency you can live on. So when you take a look at his real name, his Messiah, the Messiah, Yahweh, you can you can study the name Jesus, but it's going to lead you to Yahshua, and which is spiritual and physical deliverance. So when Christ came, remember that we were preparing for his body through Genesis all the way to John. You know, when he started to show Matthew, when he started to show up, we were preparing for the body of the atonement of the Lamb, for he was the only one that can save us. Christ died for the world he created. He died for his Father for that it forever reigned. So when you even look at that lineage there, could it be that it was a bigger, more power, more spiritual beings used to roam the earth once before? Giants used to roam the earth. And when you put your head on that focus point and understand that someone has that, not just someone, a God has died for eternal, for infinity of existence, and that he so whoever believes shall have everlasting life, you have to start to go back to the mere existence of what created. For the great philosophers have even pointed out, before you can think, you have to be. What do you mean? I mean that we were products of Christ's existence way before we have his experience. As I told you, as I mentioned to you, we're here. There is a place that you need to feel that no one else can feel. There's something that you are to do which no one can do. But you need to focus on the silent listener. We are around dead souls. We are around souls of the living dead. Y'all, it's not just our existence that are shifting and interacting and counterparts of what we are walking through. The universe will speak to you. For when you start to believe in God and the phenomenon that I'm trying to give you and the philosophy that I'm trying to stretch to you, it will enlighten the senses you have, because you are a being. For God has said you are children of the mighty high, and God doesn't hold back promises. But you need to baptize thy mind. You need to teach. You need to resurrect. This is the season to do so. Understand that your enemies are attacking you even if they are silent. Understand that Christ, when he died, He left the holy entity inside of us. But the holy entity needs a place to host. He can't host us in sin. He can't host us in sickness. He can't host us in our selfish desires. He can't host us in a negative mind. You have to Adam thought belief be. Adam thought belief be. Just for the mere fact that you think you can get to Christ, you'll get to Christ. But your mind has to be shifted and open, and you have to start living on an extraterrestrial uh afterlife experience, not in the common life. So understand that you need to get this so that you can spread the gospel, so that we can end the torment and the tortures around the world. And when they ask you who sent you, take them to Exodus 3 and 14. God said unto Moses, I am that I am, he said. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. Thank y'all. This is in the deep name.